What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the Post-Gazette Pirates YouTube channel. Colin, Beazley, Noah Hiles coming to you after a Pirates road trip ends. They win 3 games. They lose 3 games. They take only 1 of 3 against the Padres in San Diego, a series they probably should have won. And we're going to talk about that and everything that it entails. But before we do, we have to remind you all to check out our work at post-gazette.com. You can see read all of our Pirates coverage there. We cover all Pittsburgh sports at the Post-Gazette, from high school to college to all of the professional teams in the city. Also, a lot of great news coverage for what goes on in the city, along with the communities in the surrounding area. Lot to read, a lot to learn about. So get yourself a digital subscription if you don't have one already at post-gazette.com, and get yourself the print product as well. We print on Thursdays and Sundays, and today's a Sunday, so it's not too late. I guess it is if you're on the East Coast, and if you're watching this, you're probably watching it on Monday, so it is too late. But look forward to Thursday, where you can get another print edition. Colin, Pirates lose this one by a final score of 6-4. Tanner Rainey allows 4 runs in the bottom of the 7th. He suffers the loss. They lose a tough one on Friday. Henry Davis watches ball 4, but it was called strike 3 with the bases loaded. Should have tied the game. Instead, the Pirates go on to lose 3-2 in that one. Just your takeaways from this series.
Yeah, I agree with what you said. It seems like something where they really could have had a series win with a number of things. I don't know if they necessarily could have swept it, but I feel like there were some good things in winning 1 of 3 from San Diego is something that doesn't sound too bad on paper. But again, like we've talked about with a lot of this season, it seems like there was more that they could have taken from the series. But overall, considering this is a 3-3 road trip from 2 solid teams in Arizona and San Diego, going into it, you wouldn't think 3-3 is that bad. Again, there's some frustration that it's just 3-3. So that's kind of where I'm at, seeing it from home.
Yeah, I think that was the message from Don Kelly too. I think he was legitimately upset that they weren't able to walk out of here with the series win. They let 2 games slip away, and that's something that really hasn't happened a ton under his management. They haven't, they've lost a lot of close games, but in those games, they normally weren't the better team. They had to scrape by for a run here and there, where today they were up 4-1 in the 4th inning. They had the bases loaded. They chased the Padres starter from the game, and the Padres bullpen only allowed 1 hit after 1 base runner after the 4th inning. They completely locked the game down, and they allowed their offense, which is one of the best in baseball, to chip away. Chase Shugart did a good job finishing off the 6th after Andrew Heaney concluded it. But yeah, Tanner Rainey, a guy where you have to kind of wonder what you gain from having him on the roster, as opposed to players like Kyle Nicholas, maybe Eddie Yeen, a younger guy in AAA who shows some promise. Or maybe even you can have Rainey on the roster, but why not give opportunities and leverage settings to other players? Chase Shugart only threw 3 pitches in the 6th inning. Why not bring him back out for the 7th? Braxton Ashcraft looked really good in the bottom of the 8th. Maybe give him a leverage shot. When you're in a situation like this team, who's now 16 games under 500, you have to wonder, what do you gain from pitching Tanner Rainey in the 7th inning of a baseball game? Does it make your team better this year? Does it make your team better next year? Whereas Chase Shugart, who's under team control for next season, Braxton Ashcraft, who's a big part of the future, like those are guys that probably should get those opportunities ahead of Rainey. But we're fixating on this one game. Just overall on the series, Colin, I thought the offense looked a lot better.
Yeah, I think that there weren't really the offensive explosions we saw in Arizona. It seemed like some of that offensive momentum is real. Again, it's not 10 runs, but they got into positions. I believe they out-hit the Padres in 2 of 3. Correct me if I'm wrong.
Yep.
Yeah, and they found ways to get guys on base. There were still some struggles bringing them in, but overall a positive offensive series, I'd say.
Yeah. Looking on the other side of the game now here, the MVP of this series for the Pirates was Bailey Falter. He concludes an absolutely dominant month of May, one of the best Mays in the history for Pirates pitchers. An 0.76 earned run average, only allowed 3 earned runs over, I believe, 35 and 2/3 innings, I want to say. But he was great. Once again, he gets a shutout. That's the 3rd shutout win in the month of May the Pirates have had in games that Bailey Falter started. An overall great month from him. Paul Skeens, great month as well. He didn't pitch in this series, but just those 2 starters had electric months. Your quick thoughts on Bailey Falter, not only in this series, but in the month of May, Colin?
Yeah, he's been amazing. Ever since he talked about feeling like the weak link in the starting rotation, he's been anything but. He has pitched. He's been outstanding over the month of May. And what's really impressed me both from Bailey in this series and from everyone in this series is these are the same 3 guys in Bailey, Heaney, and was it Keller that went on Friday?
Yes.
Those are the same 3 guys that faced the Padres at the beginning of this month. And that series, they were swept. They were, with the exception of Bailey Falter's start, they didn't look particularly competitive against the Padres. Now, so much has changed in just the span of a couple of weeks, both with the team, with the manager, with all sorts of different things. And the starting pitchers went out against basically the same lineup and performed better the second time through. Sometimes you see hitters, they've seen a pitcher once before, they have the upper hand. This time, at least with the Pirates, it seemed like the opposite. I was really impressed with the starting pitching and how they found ways to get Padres out for a second time through after facing them not that long ago. And again, not doing that well in that first series at the beginning of May.
Final note before we wrap it up, Andrew McCutchen ties Roberto Clemente for 3rd all-time on the Pirates home run list with homer number 240. That was his 5th swing of the year. We don't need to talk about this a ton, Colin, just need to mention it. So congrats to Andrew McCutchen for that accomplishment. Just another one of many achievements he has in his long storied career. So
really good series for him, and he's got a couple of big swings as well from this one. It's good to see that the power is in fact still there. Not that anyone really doubted it, but this series was a good one for Kutch.
Absolutely. So that's all we got for this one. He's Colin Beazley. I'm Noah Hiles. You can check out all of our work at post-gazette.com and subscribe to the Post-Gazette YouTube channel at PG Pirates, where you can follow all of our coverage for the remainder of the season.
Thank you for checking out this content from Post-Gazette Sports. If you watch this video on YouTube, please like the video and subscribe to our channel. For all of the sports coverage the Post-Gazette has to offer, visit post-gazette.com.